Using string placeholders in C#. String placeholder example. There are placeholder 0 states and placeholder 1 local governments in Nigeria, 36, 774. There are two placeholders in this example. First placeholder is placeholder 0, and the value for this placeholder is 36. Second placeholder is 1, and the value for this placeholder is 774. Note that placeholder numbering starts from 0. Note that the number of values must be equal to the number of placeholders. In this example, we have two placeholders, placeholder 0 and placeholder 1. We also have two values, 36 and 774. So please, you are going to open the folder of that last lesson we did. Please sit down properly so that you'll be comfortable. The folder of the last lesson we did. Just go to local disk C. Go to local disk C. Open any folder on your machine, any folder. You can just open this folder first. Now go to local disk C from there. Local disk C. Good. Now look at this, our lesson folder. Open code folder. Now yes, open basics. Let's see. Open it for now. Let's see what is inside. Okay, go back one step. Right click on basics. Open with code. I hope we are recording. Okay, I think we are. Yes, we are. So it's taking time. You can pause our video. Okay, it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay. Put your cursor at the last semicolon. After the last semicolon, press enter, sir. Now write console.writeLine. Go back up. Yes, console.writeLine. Please. Okay, console starts with capital C. Sorry, I'm going to clean it. Don't forget, C# is case-sensitive language. So if I'm being strict, I'm doing that because we know C# is. Okay, continue typing. It has come up. Bring it. Pick it up. Now, open bracket. Open this bracket. That type of bracket. Yes.
That's 9. That's my 9.
Shift and it. Press it now. Shift. Okay. Now open double quote. Now write there are.
So if you press this, the two of them will appear at the same time.
It's helping you. There are space. Open curly brace. Shift. 0. Close curly brace. Space. States.
And that's space again.
No states. Just type states. States.
SP.
States as in states in Nigeria. Okay. Small letters, please. States. space, and space. Now placeholder 1.
Yes.
That's
Curly bracket, okay?
yes, curly brace. Then you put 1. Close curly brace. Space. In IN.
That is IN.
Yes, in space Nigeria.
Capital N S man.
Capital N, please, for Nigeria. Nigeria is enough. Full stop. Now, take your cursor after the closing double quote. That's okay. I didn't say after the closing brackets. This is the double quote sign. Now, please put a comma. No, go back there, go back. Be careful so that you don't clean anything. Hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Let me see. Okay, you cleaned something here and people have given an error. Just the comma that I wanted you to clean. Now, what I wanted you to do is to put your cursor in between the closing double quote and that closing bracket. Now put a comma there. Now put 36. Another comma, please. Put 774. Now take your cursor after that closing bracket. End the statement with a semicolon. Remember, all C# statements end with semicolon. Semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. This semicolon.
Where it is in the paper.
You look for it, sir. I will not help you to look for it. Good. Now go to File, go to Save. Okay. Now it's time for us to run the program. Okay. Now don't forget, because we put console.writeLine here, this one will after writing grades are good, you know, it will go to the next line. Then before it will now do this one. This one, when we run it, it should tell us that there are 36 states and 774. Oh, there's something we forgot. Press spacebar.
Spacebar.
Yes, on your keyboard. Now type local. No, that's not spelling of local. Space. Now governments. Add an S, please. Now go to File, Save, or Control S, whichever. But you need to be very careful with Control S. Sometimes it will introduce something that you don't want. Now, good. File, Save. Now go to View Terminal. Now type .NET Run. Take your cursor here. That place. Click. Now type .NET Run. No. .NET space run. Press enter. Now let's wait and see. Taking forever. Okay, good. Now look at the output. Can you see the output? That last output, what does it say? There are 36 states and 774 local governments in Nigeria. So what has happened? It has taken, it used 36 to substitute for our first placeholder, and then it used 774 to substitute for our second placeholder. Remember, placeholder numbering starts from where? 0. So now let's pause and prepare the next stuff. So I want you to visualize. Okay. I want you to visualize I'm not supposed to record yet. Variables. What are variables? I want you to visualize a variable as a box in your computer memory that is used to store data. The content of this box can change when your program is running. Now, I have pictorial representation of two variables above. The first variable is used to store sequence of characters, which is known as string in C#. The name of the first variable is country and its current content is Nigeria. The second variable is used to store an integer, whole number without decimal place value. The name of this variable is age and its current content is 34. Now what we are saying is that, for example, if we run our program, the content of variable country can change from Nigeria to maybe Cameroon. And then when we run our program, the content of age can change from maybe 34 to 99. How to declare or create variables in C#. When we declare variable, we must do two things. First, we must specify the kind of data the variable can store. In other words, assign it a data type. Second, we must give the variable a name. We use the following format: data type, variable name, semicolon, e.g. string country, semicolon. Here we have just declared a variable whose data type is string and the variable name is what? Country. Second example, int age, semicolon. In this second example, we've just declared a variable whose data type is integer and the name of the variable is age. Simple rules for naming variables. 1. Start with a lowercase letter, e.g. string total. In this example, I have a variable whose name is total and whose data type is string. Note the first letter of the variable is lowercase character t. 2. Where your variable is made up of more than one word, avoid putting spaces between the two words and capitalize the first letter of subsequent words in the variable name, e.g. string first name, e.g. int number of students. Now the last rule, use meaningful names for your variables. Literals. A literal represents a fixed value. Examples of literals. 1. String literal, e.g. Peter. Peter is a string literal that is made up of 5 characters. 2. Integer literal, e.g. -9. In this example, we have a negative integer literal, -9. 3. Floating point literals. Floating point literals are literals that have decimal places in them. For example, in this example, we have the floating point literal 23.45679. Boolean literal. Now, Boolean literals have two possible values, either true or false. And in the example, we've given true as an example. Now, character literals are made up of just one single character. For example, we have lowercase letter a in our example. Initializing variables using literals. To initialize a variable means to store the first value inside it. There are two ways of initializing variables. One, combine variable declaration with variable initialization. The format is data type variable name equals literal semicolon, e.g. string first name equals Peter semicolon. Note that the assignment operator, that's the equal sign, divides the above statement into a left-hand side LHS and a right-hand side RHS. Now, the LHS in the above statement is string first name. We are declaring a variable whose data type is string and whose name is first name on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is string literal Peter. We take string literal Peter on the right-hand side and store it inside first name. So the second way of initializing variables is to put variable declaration and variable initialization on separate lines. The format is that type variable name, that one will be on the first line, and variable name equals literal assignment, that one will be on the second line. E.g., I have string first name here, so on the first line I declare string variable first name. Then on the second line I have first name equals to Peter. So what am I doing on the second line? I'm assigning literal Peter to first name. And note that whichever method you use, for this one, the second line contains a left-hand side and right-hand side because of the equal sign. Now let's stop this.
The first one.
Eh?
So I prefer the first one.
No problem.
That one is shorter now.
Okay, let me show. So now I go to I'm going to the folder where our lessons are. I'm going to local disk C, open C# lesson, I go to code. So this time around, I'm going to call this create a new folder. I'm going to call the folder lesson 3. So I'll open lesson 3 folder. Just hold on, I'll open lesson 3 folder. I'm going to create another folder inside lesson 3.
You must want to create a multiple of folders.
If I like, I can, not always, but this is what I've chosen to do. So I'm going to create another folder inside this. I'm going to call this folder. Are you following? I'm going to call this folder variable declaration and initialization. They are not click outside. I'll now right click on this folder that I've created, variable declaration and initialization. I'll right click on it. I will say open with code. I'll now go to view terminal. I'm going to create a new console application there. So I'll say .net new console. Then I'll press enter.
So anytime you want to start a new program, you must declare that.
If it's a console application, that's how you do it. So now that's done. I'll now open our program.cs. Now I'm going to clean this guy that is here. I'm going to clean it up.
Wait, what?
Because I want to write my own program.
I know. But this is the program we have been using now. Or this
No. This is a new one now. I just did it before in your presence.
Okay,
so I write comments. Program to demonstrate variable. Okay, said assets required to build and debug are missing from the project. Add them. I'll say yes. So program to demonstrate variable declaration and initialization. Now press enter. This should be my comment. Now let me go to file. Let me say save. Now let me write. Now the first thing we want to do, let's go to this place. Okay. Declare string variable first name and this the comment and give it initial value of Peter. Initial value of what? Peter. Then why is this one? Enter. Let me remove this one. Demonstrate okay. Now so how do I do that one? I'll say string first name equals Peter. Now another comment. Declare integer variable age and give it initial value of 17. Initial value of what? 17. How do we do that? We say int age equals 17. No, it won't be. That's how it's supposed to be. Then
not put it in column like you put Peter in column?
Because this is integer variable, it's string variables that will be in that double quote. Integer variables, they are not in double quote. It's only string variables. Now, declare character variable lowercase b and give it a value of small letter b. How do you do that? To declare a character variable, you use the char keyword. Then the name of the variable, as we said, is lowercase b. And I say equals. Now, for character variable, you just use single quote. So I'm storing b there. Now note that in this example I'm doing, I'm just using single line. I'm combining variable declaration and initialization together, which is the method you like, isn't it? Okay. Declare decimal variable school fee. School what? School fee, and give it an initial value of 50,000.98. So how do you do that? You say decimal school fee equals 50,000.98 m. Now for decimal, we normally put m after the literal value. Big M or small m?
After the
literal. You know that the literal here is that 50,000.98. You know the literal is what's on the right hand side. So for decimal, you are supposed to put that m there.
Is it capital or small?
Any of the two will suffice. Let me declare one more. Declare Boolean variable status and give it an initial value of false. Remember, Boolean is true or false. And give it an initial value of false. So how do we do that? We say bool. When you are declaring a Boolean variable, you use bool. Bool is the data type. When you are declaring a decimal variable,
there are some that they go abbreviated, while there are some
they will be in full. Like string, when you are declaring a string variable, you spell it in full. When you are declaring integer variable, is abbreviated.
Once you start it, it will prompt now.
It does prompt actually. So the for Boolean variable is shortened bool. Bool status. We said the variable name will be status, isn't it? And we said the initial value will be what? False. Semicolon. Now let's stop there. Now the last thing, displaying the contents, the current contents of all the variables we have declared. Of all what? Of all variables we have declared. We have declared. So this one will be your assignment tomorrow, to open this and study it. So now let's use console dot write line open bracket the content of variable first name is, okay, let's just say the content of variable first name is, let's use that our knowledge of is first placeholder. You remember we did first placeholder today. It's first placeholder. Now let's put a comma. And what will be the first placeholder? It's going to be our first name. You know, we have a variable called first name. Do we have a variable called first name? Let's see. I think so. Yes, we have it here. I'm wondering why it's drawing all this red line. We'll find out later. Let's just type our program first. So because of time, let's say enter the content of variable. What's the next variable? Age, Abby? The content of variable age. Okay. The content of variable age is first placeholder there again. This time around, it's going to be age. Why is it putting mark? I will know why it's doing all this later. It's not supposed to put it there. Enter. What's the third variable? Lowercase b, isn't it? The content of variable. Let me obey the way I spelled them. Variable lowercase b. Lowercase b is what? Is lowercase b. Are you following? Small. But you know that today we did that placeholder when we first started.
Does that mean after you have written all those declarations, you still come and use console, right?
And now, what you just did, those declaration and initialization, you just throw something inside the box or the variable. But if you want people to see what is inside, you have to write statements that will make them see what is inside. Otherwise, nobody will know that you did anything. Are you following? We're almost through. Just like 2 more lines to go. So you have the content of variable school fee. After school fee, then we have status of variable school fee is school fee. Now the last but not the least is variable status, isn't it? Which has the value of false correctly. So we write console.writeLine, the content of variable status is first placeholder. And what are we going to use to substitute first placeholder? Nothing but status. Now let's save our file. File is saved. Now let's go to view. Let's go to terminal. Let's say .net run. Abi? We press enter. How far? It has finished writing the program. What did he say? The content. Oh, we made some mistake. We said content, the content variable. It should be the content of. Let's run our program again. As in, our English is not correct. Abi? So off is missing. Let's put it. Content of. Content of. Content of. The content of. My advice to you, sir, is to watch the video all over again. So let's run the program again. .net run. Enter. Oh, okay. Can you see it now? The content of variable first name is Peter. The content of variable age is. The content of variable lowercase b is. Now, if not that we type this statement, the outside world will not know that we did anything at all. You get? Now, the content of variable school fee is 50,000.98, and the content of variable status is what? False. And on that note, we end the lesson. So